everybody and welcome back to my channel. For today's video I'm going to be showing you how to get the makeup look which Demi Lovato wore at the Grammys the other day. I was watching it and I was kind of like keeping my eye out for like all the different makeup looks that everybody was wearing, and that was really the one that kind of stood out for me, so I really wanted to recreate it for my YouTube channel. So if you want to see how to get the makeup look which I am wearing right now, then just keep watching. I'm just starting off by prepping my lid using the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NC15. So I'm popping that all over my lid and then I'm blending it in with a Real Technique sponge and then setting it in place with the white chocolate eyeshadow from the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. And I'm just doing the same thing on the other eye, and this is just going to allow us to really blend out eyeshadows really beautifully. I'm then taking the shade Milk Chocolate from that same Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and this is going to be our transition shade. So I'm just popping that right into the crease, and because we want this to be quite smoky, I am taking it quite far blown out of the crease and towards the brow bone and bringing it quite close into the inner corner just to make it super sultry. I'm then taking the Kylie Jenner Burgundy palette and I'm using this shade here, which is Penny, and this is just a really warm orangey shade, and I'm just taking that over the top of that milk chocolate shade that we'd already popped into our crease, and this is just going to make it a lot more warm. And then taking the shade Almond, and this is a much more dark kind of reddy purpley colour, and this is just going to help really deepen up the eye and add a lot of definition. Again, I want to use it to make the eye super smoky, so I'm blending it out quite far towards the brow bone. And then taking this NYX Dewy Setting Spray and the shade Creme Brulee from the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and I'm just using this to make the brush wet, so that as we use that eyeshadow on our lid, it's going to make it super pigmented and bright and shiny, which as you can see here, that's exactly what it did. It looks so pretty. It kind of gave it a little bit of a wet kind of look to it. It wasn't wet at all. It set really nicely and lasted really well, but it just looked so like shiny and gorgeous. And then just using that same eyeshadow brush to blend it in, and then just taking this gorgeous coppery shade, I think it's LA from the Kylie Jenner palette, and I'm just popping that over the top of that golden eyeshadow just to give it a little bit more of a bronze feel to the look. I thought this just looked really pretty. And then taking this NYX Liquid Matte Eyeliner, and I'm just lining my upper lash line as I normally would, but I'm not doing a flick at all. I'm keeping the eye really rounded, and as you see, like where the lashes finish on the eyelid, I stop there. I do not go any further. By doing a flick you make it a lot more feline looking, but her eye was very rounded and very smoky, so I tried to do the same sort of thing. I'm then just using a baby wipe to clean away the eyeshadow. I'm then taking this French Connection black eyeliner and lining my lower waterline, ready for popping on a little bit of eyeshadow and blending it out. I'm then taking that same Penny shade and I'm just popping that as a kind of like transition shade for underneath our lower lash line, and I'm kind of creating the shape which I want the eye to be. I'm then going over the top with Almond, and I'm using this to really deepen out around the outer portion of my eye and the outer V, and really just blending the colours together to make the whole look really cohesive, so it doesn't look like you've just put shadow on the bottom and on the top. We really want to connect them to make it like all one look, if that makes sense. I'm then taking Blackout from the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, because this is one of my favourite blacks, and I'm just popping that over the top of that French Connection liner and bringing it slightly down into those eyeshadows, and then I'm just gradually blending out, putting the product down, blending out, putting the product down, blending out. You know the drill, just making sure that it's super smoky, and once I'm happy with it, I'm just popping on a little bit of the Roller Lash by Benefit mascara, ready for false eyelashes, because this is one of my favorites. I'm then taking the Jasmine lashes by Primer Lash and I'm popping them on, and then I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Matte Foundation in the shade Vanilla, and I'm just popping that all over my face and then blending it in with a Real Technique sponge. I'm then taking the same MAC Pro Longwear Concealer and the Collection Lasting Perfection, and I'm layering them over the top of one another. I'm then just using a sponge to blend them in, and then I go in with an eyeshadow brush to carve out the shape of the eyeshadow. I have loved this technique recently. I think it's just made the eyeshadow look so much more clean. It's given me the shape that I want, and then I'm just setting it in place with the RCMA No Colour Powder, and then I'm doing exactly the same thing on the other eye. As I say, I just love doing this at the minute. I think it just creates a really nice diffused look, and the RCMA No Colour Powder then kind of just gives you that nice sharp edge. And then buffing away all that excess powder, making sure that it's all nicely blended, and then I'm taking that same creme brulee shade from the chocolate bar palette, and I'm just using my finger to press that right on the center of the underneath of our lower lash line, just to mimic what we did on the top of our lid, and then just blending it in with all those other beautiful colors which we have used from the Kylie Jenner palette. And then I'm taking that same almond shade from the Kylie Jenner palette and just blending it in to create a really nice ombre, and then buffing in the rest of the RCMA No Colour Powder to set our foundation, and popping on a little bit of mascara onto our lower lashes. I'm then taking the Urban Decay Naked Flush palette in the shade Strip, and I'm just using the bronzer. I chose this one because it's really dark, and she is obviously super duper bronze in her pictures, which is stunning, so I just used this on my hollows of my cheeks, bringing it out a little bit, and also popping it on my forehead and just making sure it was really blended. Because it is so dark, I did make sure I went right down my neck just to make sure it all kind of worked together. And then taking the Makeup Geek blusher in the shade Summer Fling, and this is quite orangey, so it just ties the whole look together, I felt. And then using the Jouer highlighter in the shade Citron, and this is like my favourite at the moment. I just love it so much. It's like so shiny and gorgeous, so I'm kind of taking this everywhere, on the tops of my cheeks, down my nose, and also on my Cupid's bow, just making sure we're super glowy like Demi was on the red carpet. And then taking the MAC Strip Down Liner, and I'm not overlining my lips, I'm kind of just like framing my lips like with my natural lip shape, just to create a little bit of an ombre. I don't want it to look too over the top because her lips look really just kind of like not overdrawn. And then taking Flesh Pot from MAC, and I'm just using this to really create that ombre and really emphasize the ombre on our lips. I then do go over the top with Pure Zen by MAC, just because it's got a lot more of a peachy undertone, which Demi had. And then taking the Natural Collection lip gloss in the shade Fondant, and again this has got a very peachy undertone to it, so I felt it really mimicked what she was wearing really well. So I'm making sure I've got lots of this on to make sure that we have super glossy lips. And then this is the finished makeup look, and I just love how beachy and glowy this look is. So this is the finished makeup look. I have just like crimped my hair to look a little bit more like hers. It's like super beachy, like waves. I've just done it with my hair straighteners, and now I feel like Britney Spears from the 90s. Like, I don't normally wear my hair like this, but I really like it. So that's the end of today's video. As always, thank you so much for watching and for clicking on this video. And if you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give me a massive thumbs up and subscribe down below for more videos like this one. And I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye!